Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I just want to thank everybody for supporting my channel and for all the new subscribers, and just, this is all-inclusive channel. I'm opening my heart and welcome everybody, spiritual seekers, perpetual students of spirituality like myself, energy workers, just all of you, mediums. I appreciate you as well. I watch and admire many other channels on YouTube. So want to connect, want to grow, want to blow this channel up, And so I've started my new love series, and that's what I'm reading about today. I actually tossed the dice beforehand for time's sake, and it landed on the two sun signs of Libra and Gemini. Yes. Wow. Okay. That is beautiful and synchronistic, because I did read actually the sun signs of Libra and Pisces yesterday, but that's a whole different kind of combination, with similarities, because Libra remains Libra. So if you did happen to see that yesterday, I'm going to repeat some of the same personality traits. And for those that are new, I like to kind of break down a little bit about each sun sign and their personality, and then I kind of combined why I think they're very well suited and why they are attractive to each other. And then I definitely want to finish with my tarot and oracle reading for the two as a compatibility couple or connection, because it's not all about romance as far as, our partner, spouse. It's about our great friendships. It's about our family members we love so dearly, our furry animals. In fact, today the tarot deck I'm using is dedicated to all the very beautiful furry kittens out there, as it's called the Cat Tarot. And it was a gift that I absolutely love, and it's purple, which I absolutely love. And today, in my very, very long quest, I am going to hopefully adopt a kitten once again. So if anybody's been watching me for the last few months, it has been a journey, but I digress. So let's get to the heart of the matter. Gemini and Libra. I'll start with Gemini because we're in Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gemini. You've got till the 20th when it then turns into Cancer. But for the last month, it's been Gemini. I have so many Gemini friends. It's one of the more predominant connections for myself as a Libra. And that's what's exciting about today, is being able to give you genuine information from my own very personal experience, and then through the studies throughout many years, and just the beauty and phenomenon of why people, gravitate towards each other. So yes, it's your sun season. You, Gemini, as with Libra, are both air signs. So just anytime you get a coupling or a connection with two people that are the same element, it's just going to be easier. There's this underlying understanding and commonality with a lot of things, and let's be real about it. Many times opposites attracting is extremely powerful and attractive. It's also very nice to have people that you just kind of understand, you don't have to explain too much. You have this interest in a lot of things, common interests, and that's easy. And I think a lot of us like that a lot. And always bearing in mind that the sun sign, like I said, is the one piece of the puzzle. That is the month you're born. So each sign gets a full month dedicated to them. The energies of the month are pronounced and spread through the universe so that all of us get to feel that kind of energy. And then there's that just special blessing through that month for that particular sign and element. So about the air. So you are Gemini, an air element. You are a mutable sign. And that just means that you're very adaptable. You're extremely capable of conforming and being comfortable in many, many different circumstances and situations with all types of people, race, creed, color. Nothing of that is ever important. It's all taken in by you, and you're a loving, fun, energetic sign. You are the sign of, the symbol of twins is basically what the Gemini is. A lot of people say two different personalities. I say duality because yes, you have moods. I mean, we all have moods, and I know that they can be a little more pronounced in Gemini, but it has a lot to do with other factors. So I would like to use it as an example of just being more changeable and adaptable to seeing a lot of different circumstances, you know, and yeah, that's how I'll say it, because it's depending on the person and even the sex in this regard, whereas there's no gender association with my readings. It can be Gemini male or Libra male, it doesn't matter. You'll know who you are. There's just this a difference when it has to do with testosterone or estrogen. There just is. So, and a lot of other factors in the other planets in your birth chart. So the Gemini is ruled by the planet of Mercury. Mercury is the planet of movement, commerce, communication, and well, that just says everything about a Gemini. And that's one of the things as a Libra that I truly love, is their ability to think. And they are definitely the intellectual signs, both of the air. It's about the brain, it's about their thoughts. They basically contribute everything into how they are thinking about stuff, you know. That's how they formulate their lives, their ideas, their relationships, everything. It goes through their mind. They love the idea of expansion and learning and growing. And I honestly, I mean, legitimately, today's June 17th, I've had 3 boyfriends on this same date. I mean, you can't make that up. There's a great attraction for some reason for me on this date, whatever. I've had a lot of different Geminis, but this seems to be the key date, the 17th. But the point being is that I have found them to be extremely stimulating and interesting and knowing so much and very, very intellectual, like I said, and capable. I've known a lot of teachers that are Geminis, a lot of interest in education, you know, word, writing, speaking. I mean, they love pretty much everything and any topic, you know, and they're going to delve into it and be good, really, really, really good at it. Excuse my English, because as I digress for a moment, we are in retrograde season, full tilt. And there'll be a total of 6 planets in retrograde this month. But today is the day before Mercury goes retrograde. And that happens 3, sometimes 4 times a year. And most people know about Mercury retrograde. And it has to do with communication. So this is affecting you too, Gemini, and will until July 12th. But nothing to fear, because I may stutter and I may, you know, say the wrong words. I know they're in my mind. It comes out a little differently, but we can work through all that. You know, life definitely goes on. Just to be aware of that there may be some communication mix-ups. Certainly transportation, because Mercury is about all moving objects, so transportation can be affected. Just be careful when you're driving. A little more mindful. I wouldn't get a new car at this point, you know, it might break down a little bit or something. Those are things all fixable, you know, all doable. And they happen all during the year, but sometimes they're more pronounced, I guess. You just want to double check everything. So I'll go back to the topic at hand. So yeah, Mercury is your ruling planet. And I just want to say, just in general, because it is such a fun energy, you know, it's really about fun and versatility, and that is what Geminis are. They're intellectual, they're versatile, they're changeable, yes, they're a little fickle, they're certainly loving and warm-hearted, and they love fairness, they love justice, they will fight for justice, you know. They can be very peaceful, and they can be, you know, more outgoing. They can be introverted or outgoing. I guess they have that changeability too. I've seen both types of Geminis. But overall, just fun-loving, really good people. And yeah, they get along basically. That's the other thing. You know, we all can get along with all the signs, and that is the truth. But I would love you to do a little homework, because in my lifetime, when I first started studying the compatibility with astrology over 40 years ago, I recognized that in doing my little homework for myself, there were 3 particular signs that have continuously been a part of my life. I didn't plan it. I didn't ask them what sign they were and then decide I was going to be their friends. It was just, it just comes into your life, or you meet somebody and you just feel better about, and you have that attraction. So whereas we can all get along with certain people, Gemini and Libra are some of the most sociable signs. So they are literally going to get along with basically everybody, and yet still have those 2 or 3, 4 signs maybe that they want to be around more. There's a little easier, maybe it is that challenge they love. There is that in the mix too. But that's the Gemini. And then you have the Libra. Libra is the air sign once again, and Libra is the scales. So this is the constant desire and for balance. When a Libra is in balance, they are at their highest potential. They feel their best physically, mentally, and for the most part, they can stay basically very evenly balanced. But the one thing I feel for myself and many other Libras is that if they're not in relationship of any kind, whether it be friends, obviously lovers, romance, partnerships at work, it's all, the key word for Libras is partnership. So when that's not happening, I don't think they can be their fullest selves. It's not that they're not able to be very capably handling their lives independently, as I have done myself for many years. There's just that full holistic aspect that is complete when Libras have the partnerships in their lives and the friendships. And they're going to find good friendships in Gemini. And they are ruled by Venus, so the planet of love and money and beauty and, the magic that Venus can bring in relationships and connections and, overall just Libras love beauty of all types. They love art, they love culture. They're totally interested in pretty much every topic as well, which is another reason why they and Gemini have that beautiful connection. And then also, oh gosh, let me think. I told you about that. And then actually Libra is the cardinal sign, and that represents the fact that they are initiators. They are definitely people that like to do and create and move, and they like to be busy and productive. And they generally, the cardinal signs are the beginning and the initiators because they represent each season. So you've got Libra, that is the cardinal sign for the sign of that season of autumn, the autumn equinox. So what else can I say? So between the two of them, like I said, the main, I think, real attraction, which happens quickly, when it's about the sun sign, it's like that first impression and you're at a party and you start talking, you can tell. I mean, they have speed dating for that reason. You have that first initial 2 to 5 minutes, you kind of get a real good feel for the energy, if nothing else, of each other, and if there's that kind of ease about it, or that intrigue or interest, and that's always going to be there with Gemini and Libra. I think it's a fun, fast moving, and possibly fast ending, and not because it has to be dramatic and everything, but it's just the changeability with Gemini. They could be here and just having this great relationship or, partnership or love relationship, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to go move to France. You're like, what? I can't go to France, but I can always stay in touch. And they most likely will. It can be a lifetime, beautiful connection. You have to have this understanding in all relationships. You have to have that acceptance, which I think we grow to understand in the different phases of our lives. Things that bothered me before, as an older person, they don't have that pull on me anymore, So I have more of a calmer demeanor than I would have had. Speaking of which, I feel like the energy part of Gemini is kind of a more nervous, I would say, because most Geminis I've known, they have this constant, quick moving inner energy. They got to be doing, they got to be thinking, they got to be moving. And, a lot of Libras can be very active as well, but that temperament is different and that energy level. So they have that calming kind of effect, I think, on a Gemini. Depending on their other traits, of course, but with the sun signs, that's a very nice complementary kind of energy that works for each other. There's the fairness with the Libra that's imperative in all of their dealings, truth, justice. A lot of lawyers I mentioned before. Libras tend to gravitate towards law and, once again, judges and lawyers and attorneys because of the fact that they seek and insist on justice in all forms. And the same with Gemini. So there's that beautiful underlying feeling. They love parties, they love socializing, they love traveling. They're just fun. It would just be a great relationship, And I'm happy to see that the two of you are together. And if it's new, there's lots of excitement. It's not a boring relationship. I would never say I was bored with a Gemini. This is for sure. So I feel really happy about that. But I do want to now move on to the very important messages that will come through the tarot of the Cat Tarot deck today, and then finishing with two of my favorite oracle decks that are really merely meant to bring you this incredible enrichment and a little more enlightenment to your circumstance, to the month, to your relationship, specifically just for you. It is, like I said, June 17th, 2020. This reading is effective anytime you watch it, but predominantly today, moving towards the end of the month and further. So as I shuffle a little more, I will talk a little more about the astrology that is absolutely affecting you at this moment. And we'll continue to, because we have 3 eclipses happening this month. We're in retrograde season, which is all about, slowing it down. All the planets that have all the different effects on us, Venus in retrograde right now in Gemini. Going forward on the 25th, yes, like I said, the planet of love and relationships and, beauty and magic and the wonderful uplifting parts of life. That's been in retrograde, so we've had a chance to really kind of review our relationships and cement some things, or end them. That's possible too. And doesn't have to be a dramatic thing. I mean, it can be, but a lot of times people think it's for the best. And I will say that with this shelter in, there's a lot of people I know that have decided, I'm going to hang with my significant other, special main squeeze, all these old-fashioned sayings, because I want to, kind of really get to know them. And boy, will you get to know them in this type of thing where you're together, constantly. So that tells you a lot and you'll learn a lot. But I see it as being an incredibly beautiful energy that's going to bring you to the next level and really reveal some truths that need to be discussed, especially in your strongest relationships, because they're out there too. And, every time you get through those challenges and you get to that other level, it just brings that much more incredible compassion and understanding to the relationship. It's not always going to be easy. We know that. Anybody that's ever had any kind of relationship, things come up, and it's things from outside, and all the different variables. You can get through it all. And I feel strongly that you will. This is a beautiful combination. So yeah, the eclipses are huge, and we had the first one in Sagittarius on June 5th, very compatible with the air qualities of Gemini and Libra. But it's definitely about the truth, about revealing and the illumination of the full moon, specifically with being an eclipse, which is like full moon on steroids, is the way that people like to equate that. It's time for truth. It's time for change. It's time for higher learning and higher thinking and teaching and educating ourselves and sorting out the baloney in the world, if you will, to put it nicely, cutting through the dishonesty and bringing forth the truth, making the changes that are long overdue, so incredibly synchronistic to what is happening right now in our lives, and beautiful and needed. So we had that influence, and then we've got the new moon coming up on Saturday? It's actually Sunday, the 21st. The new moon eclipse in Cancer. We've got the sun season starting on the 20th in Cancer. We have the retrograde happening on tomorrow on the 18th in Cancer. And we have the new moon eclipse. So a lot of water, a lot of emotion, a lot of love, heart opening, giving, compassionate, vulnerability, you know, opening ourselves up like an egg, just letting it out so that we can renew, refresh, start ourselves over. You know, with the retrogrades, it's time for all of the reviewing, reevaluating, and so forth. And not pushing forward too quickly on any ideas right now, because they will probably change during retrogrades. But the effects, and then you have the third eclipse happening on July 5th in Capricorn. So yeah, it's incredibly changeable, which is wonderful. Both Libra and Gemini are very adaptable, so they can make it work. And you will make it work. And you're going to come out feeling really successful and, you know, fresh and new again. So let me read to you the energies that are predominant, like I said, and moving forward. The eclipses tend to have a storyline to them that can last upwards of 6-8 months. So whatever is started now may happen quickly, but it also can just kind of be revealing itself as the months go through. So the main energies is the Five of Pentacles. Now this is about how we feel. This is our element of earth. So this is the grounded, fundamental truth, permanence, security, you know, how we're feeling about ourselves, very much ego-based in a way, because it tends to be, well, 5 is changeable. It's extremely changeable. I've already mentioned 100 times the incredible change and transformation that's been happening and continues to, and will just, by the end of this year, looking back, it's just going to be one of the most notable years of our lives. There's no question about that. It already is, but there's still more to the story. So, wow, yeah, it's going to be a lot, but it's beautiful and it's necessary. You know, we're here for a reason. We planned this, apparently. This is supposed to be happening. We're supposed to be learning and moving on to whatever happens in our lives next, or whatever lives we have coming forward, in a completely pure state that allows us to have reached the highest good for ourselves. The 5 is questioning some things, you know, and it's looking into each other as a couple, looking deep into each other and saying, okay, whatever doubts we are holding, whatever ego, self-esteem issues we are having, that we don't think we're worthy of exactly what it is we are actually extremely worthy of. It gives you time now to really sit and to really think about that. This is a time of rest. I hope you can get some time to do some things before all the different phases, depending on your state, you know, are allowing the opening up and the starting again, you know, of our lives and everything, and just kind of graduating into it, not going full force. Being truthful with yourselves, of course, always. Recognizing the beauty of all of this, because there's always something incredibly beautiful and a gift that we can take from this, as in a full sense of gratitude, the attitude of gratitude. And so this is what's happening. You're really, really focusing on that. You're looking at what you want to see is happening and kind of letting go of these times that have been challenging, you know, and changing us. You're doing it together, though, and I love it. You can see if you look, they're looking in each other's eyes and they're like, yes, we deserve what we truly want with each other and where we want to go. And you will make that happen because you have that beautiful energy to do so. And the next we have is the, is it the 10? No, it's the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 9 of Swords. Okay, well, the 9 of Swords is all about the air element. This is you two. This is what's happening in the you know, cosmos and the planetary energies. It's strong. It's the Gemini season, Gemini Venus in retrograde, Aquarius Saturn retrograde, and a whole bunch of air coming up next year, man, in preparation for the changes and the truth and the absolute need for transformation, you know, the doing away with the structure, the conformity of the non-functioning parts of our life and systems. I'm trying to think of, systems. It's our thoughts. We've been kind of overburdened with thoughts, and we're hearing so much in controversy and information. It's overload, and we do that anyway as air signs. So we have to really kind of keep that under control. Communication is key. You want to keep that strong within each other. Regardless, you want to, have that unity, which I know you can have and are working on and have been working on, which is why you're together. And seeking the truth, for sure. Seeking what's true for you. But the 9 is the end of that cycle. So those concerns and worries are really starting to diminish because we've got this newness coming, this new moon, this new everything. And a lot of those worries and concerns are going to be part of the past. So the next cycle is the 10, and you're starting up new again. So I like this. I like it a lot, and it makes sense. It's your element, it's your energy. And it could be other Libras, Geminis, or Aquarians that are part of your life, your family, your friends, having a high influence on you right now. Then you got the King of Pentacles, boy. That's talking about that security I was talking about. You were questioning, wow, what's gone wrong? We've lost this. What do we do? Where are we going? We've got each other. We can make it work. And then you get to the King of Pentacles, and all of that is exactly happening. This is the maturity of prosperity and abundance, that you've built up to this point. So whatever's stopped or, been restricted, it's changing. It's definitely changing for you. It's changing for the world. This is abundance in its fullest kind with the King, and it's generosity. It's security, it's your home, your family, your income, your money. You're feeling good. You're feeling extremely good about that. And you're also enjoying nature, which I know that the two of you, for the most part, there might be some that like camping and some that like glamping, but either way, you love nature, you love the fresh air, going out and, visiting it to the best we can in the little bubbles, what have you, being safe. But getting out and loving the smell of fresh air in your gardens and taking it in, and all the natural things are really important to you right now. This is beautiful. And it makes perfect sense. I love it. It's lining up beautifully. So stay that way. And then you've got the 4 of Wands. Well, that just says it all. I'm sorry, it's the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is the fire. It's the change again. It's not standing or dealing with the status quo anymore. You've got that energy behind you. You had the Sagittarius lunar eclipse that was in fire, and it's very compatible. Air and fire work very well together. They get things moving. They're the action sign. They're the determination and the willingness to see things through. You've had a lot of times to think about it, sometimes to a fault. You've had things, stopped and maybe jobs changed, all the changing we've had to do to conform to the circumstances that we're dealing with. And those strifes and everything are definitely not going to influence you moving forward. And you're hearing from other people, a lot of times this has to do with maybe chatter from other people or gossip and all that. And you don't want any part of that. You're not even going to be interested in any way about that. What I see is strength here. Strength in moving forward regardless of what's going on the outside. You've got this dual, beautiful energy for each other, this team, this connection, commitment. And I feel really good about it. You got the fire in your belly, and you might have a lot of fire signs, planets in your chart designating this, because it's leaning towards that energy, or you are in fact once again surrounded with Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries energy. And we're actually, Mars will be going into Aries on the 27th, and that's going to just, whew, that powerful first sign of the zodiac, Aries energy, the Mars, the let's make it happen. And that's for 6 months, so that's going to really fuel you two as air signs. That'd be great. So all these initiatives and things are going to go full tilt with that beautiful energy, backing it up. A lot happening, but beautiful. You see the two working together. You see the two working together. This is what it's about, Libras love it, Geminis love it, the duality. Very, very comparable and beautiful energies working with you. And then I'm going to read you your beautiful oracle message just for you, that I always feel just brings that much more I'm trying to think of the word. Whew. This retrograde is really, I don't know, compassion comes to mind, but just clarity. And just loving guidance, divine loving guidance. So your particular beautiful energy from the oracle that you need to really hold on to and take hold of is the Chess Queen. Trust, strategizing. How perfect is that? Like I said, with your mind and your ability to see all sides and to really work and communicate and everything. And then you've got the 3. So that's the numerology. That is about working with others and them coming forth and helping, in groups. So you've got good help from not only yourself as a couple, but you've got definite support coming in. And it could be from the government at this point, with a lot of, people still waiting on loans and such, but it's definitely strong. It's definitely helpful. And I'm going to read to you what it says specifically. So the 3, that's the 30. Working as team, getting some definite help from others. 30, I went to 3. Okay, so this is towards the very back. The Chess Queen has all the tools you need to aid you in your quest for a life of purpose, peace, and prosperity. Ooh, the 3 Ps. I love it. It is 30. When she arrives as your ally, you're given the task of asking Spirit for a vision of your life. Ask also to know the right actions to ensure your part in this process and unfolding. Then, with a sense of trust, allow the strategy to be given unto you by the divine, as your own goals and desires in alignment with the divine plan for your life. This is a reminder that there is your plan, and then there's the plan of the divine for your life. Where you're in alignment with the latter, all matters of messages are delivered. All manner of messages are delivered to aid you in taking the right next action for your life. The Chess Queen says that you will win this game as long as you let Spirit choose your moves. Follow your bliss and the inspired messages delivered by your soul. You cannot lose when you enter the realm of the Chess Queen and when she appears as your ally. That's absolutely beautiful and very thought-provoking, yes? Food for thought. And I'm so sorry, I'm looking at these and, oh, they're so dirty right now. This is crazy, but that's okay. I got it out, right? But beautiful, beautiful energy message for you to kind of take with you and hold inside. And then also, of course, lastly, the Super Attractor Manifestation message, which is by far one of my favorite guidance oracles, because it allows us to feel the life that we want. And it happens over and over again. Try small little examples for yourself of manifestations through your feelings, when you hold those feelings, and there's power in numbers. If you do it together, just recognize when we hold that and we bring that out, it just the law of attraction basically brings back whatever you put out. So we got to be careful. But I feel like you understand that, and you've probably been practicing it for years. And it's just a beautiful recognition of our powers, you know, that we have. Oh, and it's simple and sweet, and I love it for you. And it's heart chakra color, so it's good to feel good. And that's the truth, boy. Happy, happy birthday, Gemini. Enjoy it. It's a magical year. It's a transformational year. But I love that you and Gemini are connecting. It's a beautiful, lighthearted, beautiful... Can I say that again one more time? It's a priceless relationship. And I wish you incredibly good times. Thank you again for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, please push that subscribe button for me. Help me to grow the channel, and take extremely good care of yourselves, okay? Lots of beautiful things coming up. Until next time, bye-bye. Thanks.